Hello and welcome to Team PokeMart, your one-stop shop for things that you need to stop and or shop for. And I just love the smell of the majestic Onix in the morning. What's not to like about rock snakes? It's got 10 gigantic stones outside of its head and little tail rocks that make up what I suppose is a body. And you know what? When you look even closer at said rocks, they even have some writing on them. In fact, it looks like they spell out the word subscribe, which is rather convenient because that should help you to remember to subscribe to Team PokeMart for regular updates on our new stock. Speaking of, today we've got a bit of a big body here in the store, so big in fact that I can't even show you the entire thing, but it is obviously an Onix. A long-standing, no pun intended, mostly because I'm not that clever, but this creature would be a long-standing staple of Generation 1 for multiple reasons. Reason number 1, because every Pokemon in the OG generation is revered as godly and a pure existence that is only soiled upon by every subsequent generation, and that concludes our extensive list of reasons. But if that wasn't enough to get you out of your hovel and come on down to spend some of your hard-earned dollars on rocks, then I guess I should do that thing that I do and rant at you incessantly about the Pokemon in question until you pay me to stop. So let's begin. Onix is a rock snake Pokemon with a dual rock and ground typing, which makes sense because rocks like being on the ground. It is the tallest rock type Pokemon as of right now, and its body is composed of a chain of light and medium gray boulders decreasing in size from the head to the tail, making it a very top heavy lad. And on the top of this top heavy top guy rests a protruding rock spine, or perhaps a little stalagmite. Or is it a stalactite? You know, this is the second time this has come up in a video and I still don't care. However, Onix's eyes are rounded, black and pensive, as if it's not sure whether or not it's going to crush your feeble bones and eat you. Onix's name in English is of course a little fun corruption of the actual mineral onyx with a Y, whilst in Japanese its name Iwaku is a bit more ambiguous, though it is thought to be a combination of Iwa, meaning rock, and snake, meaning Tsuneku, or it should probably be the other way around, Tsuneku, meaning snake. I mean, the Japanese do have their own word for snake, but for whatever reason they elected to use ours, so yeah. Now, as you'd probably expect, valued customer, Onix are no joke. I mean, unless it's a phallic joke, because you know it's long, hard, and thick. So it bears a strong resemblance to a lower appendage that most men claim to have, despite the fact that 99.9% of the time, the member in question could more accurately be described as a diglet struggling to surface above the ground. An Onix, however, can tunnel underground at 50 miles per hour, which is 80 kilometers per hour, causing intensive tremors and a roar so loud that it echoes throughout the surrounding area. And as it ages, the rocks on its body become smooth and round, looking very similar to a black diamond, thus making it both beautiful and deadly. Certainly my kind of Pokemon. Inside of Onix's head is a magnet that acts as an internal compass, which will guide it wherever it needs to go. And allowing itself to do all of that, all of its rocks can also rotate a full 360 degrees, allowing the Onix to swiftly change course. Although to be perfectly honest with you, it always just reminds me of a slab of kebab meat spinning slowly and deliciously on a rotisserie. Onix is very aggressive though, and it can be seen attacking humans and other Pokemon when in pain or just approached without caution or even approached with caution. Just don't approach the killer rock snake, it's a bad idea. Spending its life dwelling in mountains and cave, it is said an Onix can live for over 100 years, eventually compressing its stony exterior into a more diamond-like composition, resulting in what we know as a Steelix. Of course, if you are a lowly and impatient mortal, you probably don't want to wait this long to harden your snakes, and thankfully there is another way forward, which would be to give Onix a rather fashionable metal coat and trade it, causing it to automatically evolve and causing you to automatically be sad, because someone else is now enjoying their brand new Steelix rather than you. Because trading evolutions are a fantastic idea, aren't they? But if you thought Onix was massive, well, you ain't seen nothing yet, except you have because I just showed you the Steelix. So forget I said that. With this funky new outfit, Steelix comes in at one of the heaviest known Pokemon in the world. Steelix weighs in at just under 900 pounds, which is actually quite light considering how massive it is, although apparently it does weigh more than a Wailord, and a Wailord has the word weigh in it, so that's pretty impressive. Steelix, much like Onix, is a long serpentine Pokemon that has a rock-like body, silvery gray and resembling steel. Resembling it so much in fact that it now has the steel ground typing rather than rock ground. Some of its steel rocks have long sharp spines protruding out of them, and much like Onix, they can all rotate 360 degrees. Its most notable change beyond material would be its rigid, massive head and underbite jaw, which very much gives Steelix this rather cute bulldog aesthetic, which can become quite unfortunate if Steelix does begin to believe that it is a lapdog, because my genitals simply cannot handle that kind of pressure. Able to burrow 6/10 of a mile underground, which is a confusing measurement that I honestly don't understand using the metric system and all, Steelix can tunnel itself toward the world's very core, which is quite epic really. Of course, its eyes allow it to see in the dark, dark and it chews through boulders with powerful om-nom-nomming jaws. And due to eating such a high amount of iron from these boulders, as well as living underground and being exposed to higher heat than its pre-evolution, Steelix's body is allegedly, I emphasize the word allegedly, harder than diamond. However, this does run into a lot of problems because with that said, one fleshy punch from a Hitmonchan is still going to be super effective against Steelix, so much for your harder than diamond exterior. Now, through highly untraditional and unorthodox means, your Steelix can once again evolve further, although only temporarily, at which point you will meet Mega Steelix, who is legit one of the heaviest Pokemon known right now, and is tied with Metal Aggron for the highest defense stat of all of the Steel Pokemon. Mega Steelix has the highest defense stat of all ground Pokemon as well as of right now, so talk about thick with 2 C's. Mega Steelix's body almost doubles its mass and it gains additional crystalline features, specifically seen on its rock-like spikes. Its once red eyes turn a lovely shade of beautiful blue, and its underbite prominent jaw thing becomes a heavily armored excavation machine, which can be rather unfortunate because if Steelix was self-conscious about its underbite before, then this has certainly only exacerbated the situation. Its body is strong, ever so strong, that its actual composition is said to be stronger than any mineral, although that doesn't mean a whole lot because its previous form already trounced diamond, but Mega Steelix is able to withstand just about any temperature, apparently. This is despite the fact that fire is still super effective against steel, which means that you now have a choice. If you want to defeat the most powerful defense ever conjured by nature, being harder than diamond, then all you need to do is put on some boxing gloves, give it the old 1-2, or just light a match and watch it shrivel into oblivion because the steel typing makes no sense. Now, there are quite a few good examples of the Onix line getting love throughout Pokemon's lifespan, and the obvious place to start would be Brock. Often seen as Brock's most important partner throughout Kanto and Johto, Onix was actually Brock's very first Pokemon given to him by his father Flint, before Flint abandoned the family to sell rocks on the side of the road. But Onix was very faithful to Brock, always helping him utterly destroy gym challenges, unless of course there was a light sprinkling of water, in which case Onix would be rendered prone. But eventually Brock would give Onix to his younger brother Forrest to train, and Onix, under seemingly more capable trainership, would then evolve into a Steelix. Meanwhile, in Pokemon Origins, Brock's Onix faces Red during a gym challenge after Red defeats Brock's Geodude. It is seen as incredibly powerful, managing to take out most of Red's team, but it does eventually fall to Red's Charmander. Although to be fair, Red's Nidoran did most of the work, whilst Charmander came out to hog all of the glory and experience. To the Elite Four now, and Bruno, despite also having an Onix in the games to challenge you on your journey, was shown in the anime to first get his Onix when Ash and friends found it on a rampage. Much bigger than a normal Onix, Bruno appeared to help quell it by finding and pulling an entire Sandslash lodged between 2 of its body boulders. Quite bizarre that Onix had a Sandslash there, but we don't judge here at Team Pokemon. And furthermore, we do also still have a stock of Sandslashes if that is indeed your thing. Now, softly spoken yet determined, Jasmine is the steel type leader seen in Johto, and of course one of her signature Pokemon would be a Steelix, which debuted in the episode Nerves of Steelix. Here it helped her defeat Team Rocket as they tried to steal Pikachu from Ash, which I legitimately feel could act as the description of every Pokemon episode ever. But afterwards, Jasmine was challenged by Ash with her Steelix falling to a mere Cyndaquil, because Cyndaquil can make fire. And as we all know by now, creatures who are resistant to all temperatures, for reasons, still do not like basic fire. Also of note is that in the anime, Ash and friends helped a sculptor named Mateo search for a legendary Onix, which had a body made out of glass crystal. When found, Mateo used it as inspiration to further his own creative prowess. And many fans speculate that this alternate variation of Onix sparked a discussion on megas and regional variations that would come years and years down the line, and also why Mega Steelix has crystalline body parts as a bit of a callback. Some more fun facts about the Onix line. Steelix and Onix are likely based on a combination of a snake or python and earthworm, though in Steelix's case it could also be based on a worm, like a worm with a Y. A worm being a type of dragon that has no limbs and burrows furiously to hide the shame of its very existence. Onix in all home console games is seen resting on the ground when it comes out of its Pokeball. However, Steelix, until the comparatively recently Sword and Shield, was seen floating above the ground like some sort of guardian snake deity. Onix is the largest unevolved Pokemon in the series at the time of this recording, although this could have changed by the time you are watching it into the far, far future, enjoying Generation 16, which features such trademark Pokemon as Tin Can, Cement Building, and of course everyone's Gen 16 favorite, Dildon. And finally, a truly useless fact, Steelix is a very special Pokemon. So special that it is in fact one of my writer's favorite Pokemon, which is worth more than liquid gold or diamond. I suppose diamonds are a girl's best friend and my writer is a girl thing, so maybe that's the reason. So thank you for making me say that, Chloe. That was indeed truly useless. Keep up the good work. And there you go, valued customers. Lots of interesting information to keep you grounded as you learn about how to take care of your new Onyx and its evolutions. And yes, I know it rocks already, but was there anything new you learned today? Probably not, but please do come and buy this dubious, aggressive, and rather shockingly intolerant of basic nature rock snake anyway. And please do make sure to stop by Team PokeMart just to say hi, which you can do in the comments below. And if you're interested in some of our other merchandise, then please do click these tantalizing links over here, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for regular updates on our new stock. But for now, this has been Team PokeMart, and we'll see you next time.